Hello. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's Dee. How's it going? It's been 5 days. It's been 5 days, apparently. Oh my goodness. How do you stream? I don't remember. Am I doing this right? Is the mic even on? Good evening, Zon. And Art said they're in class, so probably I'm on mute, but hello, Art, anyway. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, it's been a week, man. What's happened? What's been going on? I started new gacha games when I was sick because, you need to fill the time somehow. I had been meaning to try Mori Men's anyway. Man, it is dark. It is dark AF. Everyone's just dying left, right, and center. And then they're like, hey, they're a playable unit. I'm like, hey, they're not human anymore. That's why they're playable. Because it's like, the whole thing is you're basically like summoning spirits. And there are some humans, I think, who are playable. But it's like, oh god. I downloaded Punishing Grey Raven, have not started it yet. Mostly because, I know my PC will explode. I was trying to slowly start saving to get more storage. But then, I had to... Did you just hear? Hey! Yes, you did. Look, I summoned you. I haven't started it yet, but I put it back on my PC for whenever I'm able to scrounge up enough storage space to install it properly. But, the launcher's there, and, the bare bones, it's just, as soon as you open the game, it's gonna be like, additional download! I hope you're well, Stefan. But yeah, I was slowly setting money aside. But then I had emergency bill stuff, so I'm like, well, there goes the savings. It was only $50. I managed to set aside anyway. Saving's hard when everything is so expensive. But it is what it is. It is what it is. At some point. Slow and steady. Technically, I do and do not get an extra pay this month, which is kind of fun. Usually, the apothecary doesn't give out Christmas bonuses or anything. It's just the way the pay cycle falls because I get paid every other week. So technically, I'm supposed to get a pay on January 1st, but because, that's New Year and everything's gonna be closed, they have to pay us on the 31st. So technically, I get 3 paychecks. Technically. Which is nice. So it's a little bit of extra money put towards, debt repayment. I mentioned I'm trying to scrounge together slowly but surely money for a condo because I'm sick and tired of renting so much. Rent. May I sell my liver to get out of this fiefdom? That would be nice. alas. If only it were that easy. Well, I mean, it's probably easier than you think to sell that kind of, to sell your organs. Will it be done in a way that guarantees your survival? Probably not. I'm sure the Ushinomiyas of UMINEKO probably have connections for that stuff. Who knows? Grandpa's into dark magic. Grandpa just scary AF. Ooh, locking in. Very nice. Let's go. Time to watch literally everyone you follow. Just, you know, have everyone in a different window. Just a cacophony of noise. 20 voices you can't even understand. Got a presentation to finish? Very nice. Good luck with your presentation. God. I'ma watch you. Thank you. Alrighty. On the other screen, I'm gonna get the game ready to go. You like talking to me? Aw, thank you. Now, by coincidence, Siphon, have you... I can't remember. Have we had an UMINEKO stream since you followed? Should I do a recap of what's happened in this plot so far? I mean, I think it's been a while for most people anyway, so I probably should do a recap. I remember most of it. Don't think you did? Okay. I'll do a more general recap then. Don't need to. But it's fun to recap it, don't worry. I really should anyway. You like see some things out of context? Fair enough. I mean, there'll be things out of context anyway because this is a story that's very rich in the details. Alrighty, so for the uninformed, the uninitiated, UMINEKO is a visual novel that was written by Ryukishi Nana, who is perhaps more famous for writing Higurashi, like as in Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, which, like, you know, traumatized just about everyone in the late 2000s with the anime. That was certainly, I certainly remember that anime being more gruesome than Another, though Another has definitely stuck around better. For traumatized people? Oh yeah, I mean, there's a whole ass scene where, main character Keiichi is getting his nails pulled off one by one. So, you know, it's like, oh my god. And famously, there's a scene where, another character stabs himself repeatedly in the head with a knife in front of another character, like, just out of the blue. It's one of those kinds of series. Hi, Sexu! Any kind related to nails? Oh, yeah. I mean, it was really intense. At some point, we'll get around to playing the Higurashi visual novel, but it's much longer than UMINEKO. So I started with UMINEKO instead, because I mean, I know Higurashi quite well. I knew very little about UMINEKO, so I'm like, this'll be the more authentic experience. So yes, all the characters in this game are connected to the Ushinomiya family. This is set in the 80s? I believe it's the 80s. So, because basically, the Ushinomiyas are a rich family. Grandpa made the family rich. He's quite weird and eccentric. But every year, everyone gathers on this island for, it's like half a family reunion, half like some kind of conference. They actually call it the family conference because Grandpa lent his kids money for their various business dealings. But, you know, he makes them report on their investments and how well their business is doing, blah, 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 blah. And that's how, you know, the family get-together became the family conference. So at this family conference, people start dropping dead. For strange, mysterious reasons, somebody is stabbing everybody on this island, and it is being attributed to Beatrice. Now, who is Beatrice? Beatrice is the golden witch that Grandpa is obsessed with. There's a big old portrait of her in the entranceway of the mansion. And everyone just thought she was like, you know, the boogeyman kind of thing. But turns out she's real. And she's here to collect her dues. Because the family legend, so to speak, states that Grandpa made a deal with Beatrice. Like, basically a deal with the devil. And as part of that deal, he got all this gold that he used to smartly invest and drag the family out of poverty. And now she's like, well, interest is due, time to collect. If you guys can solve my riddle 3, I will stop killing you. If you can't, well, I'm here to collect interest. Because the wording is specifically, I'm here to collect any and all interest. So basically everything you've acquired since we made our deal. And, you know, that includes his children and grandchildren. So she's like, yeah, the kids are on the chopping block too. She's back. Hi, Jambola. I'm just giving a recap for UMINEKO since we've got a bunch of new people since the last time we streamed this one. So yeah, that's the overall sort of archy thing. They're stuck on this island because of a storm. That's quite a story, yup. And we're only halfway through it. Yeah, they're stuck on this island because of a typhoon. They decided to go to an island during hurricane season. Dumbasses. So they're trapped. There's no boat. They don't keep a boat on this island. Like, they just got dropped off and they're like, hey, yeah, we'll see you in 3 days. Dumbasses again. So they're trying to survive the night, basically. Because they're like, oh, you know, they'll come for us after the typhoon like they're supposed to. Like, the boat's supposed to come pick them up because this was just supposed to be like a weekend get-together, basically. So they were just supposed to be here Saturday, Sunday, leave Monday kind of thing. And so during those, like, you know, 48 or so hours, they're trying to survive Beatrice's machinations. She only kills people at midnight, because that's the witching hour. So during the day, technically you're safe. At night, it's anyone's guess. So the story's broken up into chapter/episodes. And basically at the end of every episode is, like, you know, the end of the story. And then time rewinds. Or, well, we're not sure if it's time rewinding or it's like a parallel universe. The game hasn't gotten into that. But it's like every single time it's a new chapter. Everything starts up again and things are different. People die different ways, different people die, all that stuff. And then just like Higurashi, UMINEKO is split into what's called question arcs and answer arcs. So we're still in the question arc, where we basically just get presented a ton of information. Not a whole lot of answers, just a lot of, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then once we get to the answer arcs, that's when they start taking all that information and putting it together to answer the questions. So that's about the gist of it. Now, chapter 3, which we are on. Hang on here. Yes, we are on episode 3. So in episode 3 thus far, for the first time ever in all the arcs of this story, someone has solved the epitaph. So the epitaph is a poem that was posted under Beatrice's portrait. And basically the idea is, oh yeah, if you solve this riddle, you'll find the hidden family gold and you become the head of the family kind of thing. You'll be right back? Okay. So for the first time ever, someone has solved this epitaph and found the gold. It was Ava, and then shortly after, Rosa, her sister, also figured it out. So they ran into each other in the cave where the gold was hidden. And now Ava's like, we need to keep this a secret. And Rosa's like, no, we can't keep it a secret. That's not fair. We said we wouldn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And Ava's like, no, like, I plan on telling them, but, like, you know, we need to secure everything because, you know, if we just tell them, our brothers are gonna go steal all the gold out from under us, blah, 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 blah. Rose is like, all right, I'll keep my mouth shut for 24 hours. That's it. And I believe that's where we left off, basically. So what could possibly go wrong when, like, your sister's like, you can't tell anyone or else, and you're like, try me, bitch. What could possibly go wrong? Rosa said bet, and knowing Ava, she's gonna call her on that bluff, and it's gonna go very, very badly. Boop, there we go. All right, hold on. Let's get the sound. I mean, it's just seagulls. What? There we go. Back again. Here we go. I'm actually glad I scheduled UMINEKO for today. No thinking, just reading. I was in project meetings all day today. Because the apothecary is being audited by, like, the supervisors and stuff, so we have to do all this extra stuff by Thursday, so, like, my nose is just to the grindstone. So it's nice to... Now you can be safe for the week, right? Oops. Some things never change. Accidentally click start episode instead of load. Some things never change. I swear to God, I do that every time we play this game. Well. Come on. Give me the menu. There we go. So loud, that door. My goodness. Low, there we go. Oh yeah. Sub to a streamer you're not even watching? That happens. I got a notification from YouTube like, oh, you just been gifted a sub to so-and-so. And I'm like, well, I follow them. I haven't watched them in a while. But, thank you. I'll go enjoy the members-only content before, like, you know, it vanishes into the ether again. Oh my god. This is more bombastic than I was expecting. Oh god. Didn't realize we left off in a freaking ballroom. I think this is, because since Ava solved the riddle, now, like, no, young Ava is becoming the witch or something like that. I think that's what this scene was. She's being, like, coronated, basically. Music's pretty loud. I mean, I brought it down already, but let me know if it's still really loud. Because, yeah, it was very loud for me as well. I was already turning it down. Better? Okay, good. Yeah, it took me by surprise how loud it was. I'm like, oh my god. Beatrice is like, you awake? I bet you are. It's like, now you're awake, definitely. The instant Beatrice made that proclamation, which we'll never know because it's been like 3 weeks, everything was buried by a golden sparkle and changed into a majestic place that looked like an audience hall. In the audience hall, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, all with goat heads, I bet. In the audience hall, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies, celebrating this first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. Hi, Amatis! Yes, I finally broke the Ushinomiya curse. Yes, it has been in a while. I've had it on the schedule, I swear. Every few months, I have a game that's just cursed. No matter what I do, I always end up seeming to be sick or with a headache or something's come up. On that day, I'm supposed to play that game, like over and over and over again. what games have had the curse? 100 line for sure, I think. Danganronpa 2 had it as well. But yeah, I was trying to stream it and just life was like, nah, it's not happening. When she looked, she saw Beatrice in the throne that only the Endless Witch was permitted to sit in, holding a golden staff. Ah, yes, this is the start of... Oh, what is she called? Ava Beatrice? I've seen, like, the character design floating around on the internet. Reigning with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Ava automatically kneeled, hanging her head. Ah, yes, the goats. Hello, goats. A goat attendant respectfully handed Beatrice a golden staff in the shape of the one-winged eagle. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, she laid the tip of it on Ava's shoulder and spoke. She's being knighted, essentially. It was a proclamation 1,000 years in coming. Ushido Miya Ava, you have spectacularly solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and reached the Golden Land. I praise that accomplishment and hand over all of the endless magic as well as the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. From this point forth, you may call yourself by my name, Beatrice. Come, raise your face, and stand and accept this staff. I am most grateful. Ava stood up dizzily and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Her hand was trembling slightly. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in the brilliant gold sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside of her. In the instant she succeeded, the Golden Witch, Ava felt something in the depths of her soul be reborn. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. She kamehameha'd. It felt like she was waking up, as though she had been half asleep ever since she had been born and was opening her eyes for the first time. It felt as though her true eyes inside her eyes were open for the first time in her life. Weird sentence, but okay. Ah, yes, there she is. Indeed. A fitting and beautiful outfit for the Golden Witch. Come, you may show yourself to all of these people. Let them know that the new witch is indeed you. Ava, no. The new Beatrice turned around timidly. Timid? The Golden Witch? That's not a good sign. When she did, the witch prestigious minions which filled the vast audience hall, honored her with applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea. Come, everyone. Replace all of the portraits of Beatrice with the new Beatrice. Beatrice 3, I'm guessing? Because was it, Beatrice's teacher also called Beatrice? So we've got, like, Beatrice 3 now. Beatrice the 3rd. Lift up words of celebration for the new Beatrice! Nice portrait. Do you even have to pose for it? New Beatrice. Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch. I hope that you will become able to stand on your own as a proud Golden Witch and as the Endless Witch. Yes, I will do my best. I expect a composure befitting the Endless Witch from you, unlike your naughty predecessor. Damn. Imagine if Rudolph had solved the riddle, would we have Rudolph Beatrice? Maybe Rudolph Bernard? I'm not sure what the male equivalent of the name Beatrice is, but Bernard sounds good. Bernard is perfect, right? Also, if Battler solves the riddle, then we'll have Battler Bernard. I was not prepared for the Ojo-sama laugh, so I just phoned that one in. Teacher, we're in the middle of a serious ceremony, so please, enough of that. Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch, new Beatrice-sama. So how long is it gonna take for her to stop being new Beatrice and just be Beatrice? I am called Ronald. I am one of the 72 demons permitted to serve the Golden Witch. If you are ever inconvenienced in the slightest, please let me know at once. Oh, so, okay, my son is dating the servant, and that is not okay. We need to get rid of her. Thank you. Thank you. Ronov is rude, but reliable. If anything confuses you in your new days as a witch, speak to this man, and he should be able to help you. Predecessor Beatrice-sama? Predecessor. Sounds like she's deceased. It is a shame that I was not permitted to serve you further, even though we have finally been reunited like this. These last 1,000 years have been very entertaining for me. You have my deepest gratitude. Indeed, 1,000 years with you wasn't boring. Please, take care of the new witch. I'm gonna go on vacation in the tropics. Yes, I, Runov, will obey the final order of the former Beatrice. Oh my god, there she is! Satoko! I mean, not Satoko. God, I can't remember her witch name. Lambda Delta? I think she's Lambda. I gave my signature to recommend you for the succession of the witch. Got it? In other words, if I hadn't signed, you wouldn't have been able to become a witch. So thank me a little, okay? This is the Witch of Certainty, Lady Lambda Delta. There we go. The recommendation of a witch from the Senate was required for your succession as an endless witch. There's a Senate? I knew they got together to have tea and stuff and play games. I didn't know there was like parliament and stuff. Welcome back, Saphon. Lady Lambda Delta recommended you and became your guardian. What could possibly go wrong? Thank you! Hey, Vito! Vito calls Lambda Delta. Oh, Lambda Delta Show. Oh, what's the kanji for that? I know it off the top. I know it in the back of my head. Da 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 da. I think it's like counter something basically. But I can't remember. Anyway. This kid isn't grateful enough. I think I'll take back that recommendation. You can't. It's too late. A person making these recommendations shouldn't act like a child, right? There she is, my favorite girl. Birkenstead. Make sure to take responsibility. Lady Lambda Delta is also the Witch of Certainty. The Witch of Certainty prefers to make fate firm, to create a fate of certainty. She really liked and highly valued your efforts until today. Well, you had that unfortunate childhood and all that unrewarded effort. I can sympathize just a little bit. Ah, yes, Satoko. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. For those who don't know UMINEKO and Higurashi very well, Lambda Delta and Birkensteel, these witches are heavily inclined to be like alternate word versions of two characters from Higurashi. The blonde one is Satoko, and the girl with the long hair is Rika. So that's why sometimes I'll call them Satoko or like Rika, especially when they say something in the text that sounds like they're calling back to Higurashi. From my point of view, your succession, well, it was more of a coincidence than a miracle. Hey, sometimes that's all you need, man. It isn't worthy of my recommendation. This is Lady Birkenstell. She's quite hard to please. Still, you could say that just having her participate in the celebration makes you exceedingly exceedingly lucky. I only came because this is a rare, once-in-a-million event. And I heard that there would be some good sake. Ah, alcoholic. Ah, yes, the sisters. The sisters of Purgatory? I forget all of their names, but there's 7 of them. One for each of, like, the sins. New Beatrice-sama, please come greet us as well. Huh? Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. The 7 sisters of Purgatory were gathered in a line. The eldest sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled. I can buy another daily potion? Yeah, I don't put a limit on it, technically. So, like, that way people can basically re-roll if they don't like what they get, but very rarely do people do. Sometimes people do. There are... I'm trying to remember how many variants I have. I think there's 14 to 18? I periodically add more. The eldest sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled. This is the furniture that serves me. Oh, yeah. For those who don't know, furniture in UMINEKO basically refers to non-human, like, familiars slash, like, servants. Like, the servants in the Ushinomiya family refer to themselves as furniture as well. The whole idea being that furniture is just something you use and it serves a purpose. Like, it doesn't have emotions or value beyond being used. And that's why they're furniture. It's a point of contention that comes up semi-frequently, especially since some of the servants are getting involved in romantic pursuits, where the humans get very upset that they call themselves furniture. Understandably so, because they don't get it. But yeah. As a gift to celebrate your inheritance, I will send them to you. The meme potion. Once you succeed the position of Golden Witch, you will need to carry out the resurrection ceremony for yourself. The 7 Sisters of Purgatory perform an essential role in that ceremony. Ah, yes, the daggers. They're a villainous bunch, but they serve a purpose. Have them do whatever you wish. We will always be by Beatrice-sama's side. Please order us to do anything you desire. We'll accomplish our tasks without fail, except you do fail periodically, but shh. Even after that, many nobles and minions visited, offering words of congratulations for the new witch. As she responded to them confusedly, she felt as though she was growing lightheaded due to lack of oxygen. Yeah, you're stressed, you're not breathing properly. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal. But there was something she just couldn't understand. A feeling of achievement at being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a truth she could definitely understand. What is all this? Oh yeah, this is the meta layer. So when there's like this flowery border on the screen, this is called the meta layer. Basically, it's the implication is Battler as the main character and Beatrice are watching all of this unfold from like another dimension. Because they're playing a game. Like, this is all a game to them. They haven't fully explained how the meta layer works, but that's essentially what it is. Like, at the end of Chapter 1, Battler wakes up in a room having tea with Beatrice, and he's quote-unquote been there ever since. Even when, time resets and, like, you know, it's a new chapter, new attempt at solving the mystery, all that stuff. What is all this? Of course I'm not gonna swallow this story, but what in the world does it mean? He's Ava's nephew, for context. Like, the Ava here looks very young, but that's because it's a personification of Ava as a teenager. The Ava is actually, like, in her 50s. She's got, like, a 23-year-old son, so... But Aunt Ava is the new Beatrice? Are you saying she's turned into a witch, apparently? Hey, hey, ho, all hail the witch. What the hell? I was also surprised. Why are you surprised? To think that someone would be able to solve the riddle. However, this is the rule. Shit sucks, but we gotta follow it. I must follow it and pass on the position of Golden Witch and my name. It is hardly something to be surprised about. At the very beginning, you wrote that rule in the letter and announced it. Yeah, but I didn't think anyone was smart enough, duh. I thought they were all a bunch of dummies. Beatrice tries very hard to keep her cool, but she's actually a brat. She's got a very interesting, like, dichotomy going on. There's the word. Ava-sama was simply the first to be successful. That's all there is to say. Virgilia, are you there? Or I guess Virgilia, because technically it's the female form of Virgil. There's a great scene in the anime where Beatrice is eating biscuits and cackling when Ronalf shows up and goes, "Milady, please be more elegant." And then she cackles more politely. Gotta cackle into the back of your hand. That's the polite way to do it, right? Or like, you know, you break out the fan and you snicker behind it or something. Yes, here I am. What does this farce mean? Damn. Even if this depiction of strange witches showing up one after another is some of her bullshit, isn't it this almost like Aunt Ava turned into a witch? That's exactly what it is. Congratulations. Your brain cells are still working. Calm yourself. She has simply received the title of Endless Witch and might call herself that in the future. The succession ceremony... Oops, hang on. Oh no! I had grabbed a cough drop, and I dropped it before I unwrapped it. Hang on. My cats have tried to eat the wrappers that the cough drops are in, so I'm like, I can't just leave this on the floor. The succession ceremony is certainly nothing more than an act to promote that child's explanation. Don't fall for the same move over and over again, Baka. That's right. This whole grand ceremony was all phony. But it's at least a fact that Aunt Ava solved the riddle of the epitaph. Good for you, Auntie. Let's go, feminism! Viva la revolution! And at the same time, that means she succeeded the Ushinomiya family headship. And after getting 10 tons of gold, Aunt Ava might as well call herself the Golden Witch. Oops. Accidentally hit the scroll wheel. Scroll wheel. My goodness. Is that it? My. Is a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of the ceremony? Yes, I am merely a boorish human born in modern-day Japan. Oh well. Being unable to read between the lines is what makes you human. Hey now, I have good, better than average emotional intelligence, excuse you. I pity you, but I do not blame you. Damn it. Don't look at me like you feel sorry for me. Don't look at me with those eyes! I don't need your pity! Still, for the time being, there's something I need to check. And that's regarding this younger version of Aunt Ava. In other words, the definition of this new Beatrice. What is that? Even if I tell of it, you will just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct? Oh, ad break, okay. We'll take a break, because we're in the middle of an exposition dump, and you know, this is one of those things where if you miss part of the story, it ain't good. Alright, so I'm gonna switch to be right back. Gives me a chance to get up and stretch as well. So hold tight for a couple minutes, folks. Here we go. Ayo, ayo, welcome back. Hold on, hold on. Boop. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. There we go. I was like, hello? Transition? Transition! Welcome back. Alright. Onwards and upwards. Even if I tell of it, you will just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct? Uh-huh. So there's nothing in particular for me to explain. Feel free to believe in whatever it seems to be to you. Alright, so it's a black market scam. What it seems to be to me. Then how should I interpret this? She just said interpret it however the heck you want, bruh. For now, it might not hurt to view it as a visualization of a separate entity inside of Ushinomiya Eva. Thanks, Ronov. Exposition dump the man. Of course, you cannot blindly accept that answer, but it is probably a reasonable theory to hold for the time being. In other words, I should think of Aunt Ava and her as the same person, right? Ugh, damn, I don't like where this is going. In any case, from now on, my name is no longer Beatrice. I have passed it on to Ushinomiya Ava. Then what should we call you? Happened again? Your laptop is freezing? I think it might be time for a new computer, or at least take it in for some repairs. Should not be freezing that much. Vito Beatrice. Which means that I am nameless. She's moved me! God, related to corporate VTubers, I found out today that Kanata Amane is graduating. I'm so sad! She's got health issues, but she's such a good singer. It's sad. She's not planning on reincarnating, so she's just gonna be a normal being. Why am I so lucky with the subs? I don't know. You have a name that stands out. Yeah, Amane Kanata's graduating. I mean, she's been having issues with chronic illness for a while now, and she knew she only had a certain amount of time before she would have to quit. And the time has arrived, unfortunately. Battler, don't you have some name that'd be fitting for me? I shall accept your recommendation. How about a name that's refined, full of elegance, and a little cute if you can? I hope the best for her. Yeah, because she has... Oh, what's it called? Meniere's disease? Which basically affects hearing. And also, like, vertigo and stuff, because, you know, it's in one ear. I won't mourn, I'll just wish for her happiness. Yeah. It's bittersweet, and I mean, sometimes it's nice when the VTuber reincarnates as someone else. But it's never the same. Like, you get attached to that you get attached to the model as much as the person behind the model. Just Beetle is good enough for you. There's probably a big enough difference between Beetle and Beatrice to keep people from getting confused. Ah, yes, and that's why everyone just calls her Beetle now, huh? So the same old Beetle it is? It doesn't feel wrong, but it's boring for some reason. She likes him. She wanted him to give her a nickname. Too bad she's so abusive. Every time this bugger does the poo-coo-coo laugh, I think of the Pokemon. What is it? Pookie-Mew? Like the sea cucumber thing? I hate Rodolph's laugh. It is pretty dumb, I gotta say. Yukumuku, thank you! I got it half right. I love that design. There's just so many Pokemon nowadays to keep it all, like, straight in my head. They say the temperature of black tea in a woman's heart are difficult to gauge in any era. What, you never heard of a thermometer? Battler Kun? At any rate, stay calm from this point onwards. The fact that we can now tell her and Ushino Nia Ava apart works to our advantage compared to that time when the child was still Beatrice. And that's exactly why I like this even less. What's she thinking, that Bieto? At the thermometer line? I do have some very great moments sometimes. I am, if nothing else, sassy AF. I've always got some kind of comment. Over there, the witches formed a long line to bless Aunt Ava, who had the figure of her younger days and who now possessed the name Beatrice. It was like a witch's coronation. That's exactly what it is. The countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkling space. They were all praising her. As I stared from a distance, I looked at the newly born Beatrice, who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been lost and confused at first, seemed to be full of the happiness that she was finally starting to recognize. The expression didn't look at all like someone laughing insanely while standing before the gold. I mean, I also would probably cackle like a maniac if I suddenly found like 10 tons of gold. Like, even they calculated how much money that would be in, like, 80s yen? Which would be, like, millions. I think, like, even, like, closer to billions. Like, it's crazy. There was just the innocence of a person basking in their own joy. As a person who denied the existence of wishes, I couldn't view this witch's succession ceremony with a joyful blah blah blah. Joyful expression! And accept her. Blah 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 blah. It's been a few days since I've streamed. Which is... Don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied, though. I literally was in meetings all day. I guess reading stuff aloud is a little different than just speaking. However, when I looked at that innocent smile, it felt like I felt like I wanted to offer my blessings just for that moment. It's always beautiful when strong efforts bear fruits and are rewarded. Aunt Ava, who had always yearned to succeed the headship and who had worked hard since her youth without reward because, you know, this was the 60s to the 80s in Japan. Like, extremely sexist. Literally, there were lines that was like, oh yeah, like, you know, women shouldn't learn too much. They should learn just enough to be useful to their husbands. But if they learn any more than that, then, like, you know, they become a pain in the ass and, like, they're no longer attractive. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Aunt Ava, who had always yearned to succeed the headship and who had worked hard since her youth without reward, had spectacularly taken hold of the chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph, and had finally gained that position. How divine is the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted. Ah, she's got the little fane. I definitely won't accept witches. But Rattler put his hands together, making a small sound. Clap, clap. It did reach her ears, but it did bless her. Congratulations, Aunt Ava. You spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I will accept you as the new head of the family, and I'll celebrate that sincerely. What could possibly go wrong? As though urged on by Battler's applause, Beetle also clapped. It was a slightly odd scene. Alright, so here's my gripe with UMINEKO and its translation and stuff. I get why Beatrice becomes Beetle, because in Japanese it's Bietorisu. So Bieto makes sense. But localizing wise, Beatrice should shorten to Bia. Like, Veto doesn't actually make sense in English. That's my one and only gripe. Every time I say Bieto, or Beto, I'm like, why is it not Bia? Battler and Beto, who opposed each other, were standing side by side and applauding the same person. Like a married couple who hate each other. I'm not applauding for a witch. I'm clapping for all of Aunt Ava's efforts up until now. In the dub, they say it the Italian way, like Bie Tori Chish. Ah, okay, fair enough. That at least makes, that at least makes the Bieto a little bit easier, but, like, I think even in Italian, it would still shorten to Bia, but yeah. Like I said, my minor gripe. To me, it just doesn't sound natural. But you know, this is an official translation, so you know, the gods have spoken, so to speak. Just like how, making sabers act like King Arthur's, or sorry, like Fate's Day Night, sabers, in all the official localizations, they call her Altria. And everyone's like, why is it not Arthuria? But like they committed to it. They've stuck to Altria all this time. So it's like, okay. Just saying, Arthuria, just add the Ia to the name. Nice and easy, whatever. Because with it being Altria, you can't even tell that she's like King Arthur, basically. As am I offer my sincere applause as a blessing to Ava, who spectacularly solved that epitaph. I don't like applauding with you. But, well, I've decided that I won't worry about it now. Divine punishment won't fall on me just because I clap with you every once in a while. And then he was struck down by lightning. It's not so bad every once in a while. Still, it is fun to applaud. Even though it was Ava who was successful and not me for some reason, I'm starting to feel happy too. Celebrations are infectious. That's because blessing someone means the same as sympathizing and sharing with them. I see. Then I have even shared this irrational happy feeling with you. It's like, fuck! I don't want to share feelings with the witch. It's like I might catch something. Since we are a pair of enemies trying to make each other surrender, it is an odd experience. Well, just for now, let's have a truce and clap, okay? I like that they've basically been shit-talking each other this whole time while they've been like... Patchy, 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 patchy. Like, to anyone who saw them, it's like, oh yeah, those two in the corner are clapping. But they're also, like, shit-talking each other. Beato laughed impishly, playing around and applauding even louder as though eagerly trying not to lose to Battler as she clapped. Battler went alone and with her and clapped even louder. These frickin' clowns! When he did, as though some ceremony had ended, everyone applauded and highly praised the reborn Beatrice. It was just as though Battler and Beato's applause had been the final thing needed for her succession. Now about that sister of hers. What could possibly go wrong? Everything! 10:30. Don't remember if it's AM or PM. I think it's AM, because the last scene... No, it is still night. Okay. Rosa returned to the lobby. It was her turn to rest, but her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension. Take it easy and lie down. Keep this up and you'll have it pretty rough later on. Thanks for the concern. I just couldn't fall asleep. I've already taken a shower, so I'm good for now. The next person can rest. What about you two, Kirie-san, Rudolph-sama? What will we do, Rudolph? Shall we rest? You can rest. I'll stay awake. That's the only manly thing I can do right now as he holds a shotgun. Okay. Okay, Rudolph. Then I'll stay awake. Staying awake with my husband is the only womanly thing I can do right now. Why don't y'all go to the back and do some coupley thing instead and leave us alone? Spare us your grossness. You two truly are close. You should talk. It seems Ava and Hideyoshi-san are out cold. It appears that unlike Rosa, they can't fight against their age. Oh, as though in response to those words, the door of the hall clunked open. Ava and Hideyoshi returned from the guest room. We heard you talking shit! That's none of your business. Oh, Rosa, are you sure you don't need to rest? You should talk, Nei-san. Why not take it easy and sleep? My favorite dumb thing about all of this is the fact that it's canonical that Ava, like Rosa is like 14 years younger than Ava. So all this time, like, you know, because Ava bullied Rosa as kids, it's like, I can't believe a university student is beefing with a 4-year-old. Like, come on. Is there a chill in here? Taking a shower shook my drowsiness off. Not for long. Fun fact. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? If you shower, sometimes it can actually make you sleepier. Because your body temperature goes up when you shower, and then as you cool off, sometimes it can make you sleepy. Rudolph, Kirie-san, you can rest if you want. Sure, thanks. Well, for now, let's say I appreciate the sentiment. Why don't you go first, Aniki? How kind of you. But I cannot rest first. That is the most I can do as the oldest brother right now. Will someone take this bed? I can't stand all this posturing. Do not worry, the two of us will still awake until the end. More importantly, Ava Nason, are you okay? You look a little pale. Yeah, she's not. Y'all haven't slept. You know, a lot of this is because they don't fully trust each other. Yes, you are correct. Which, I mean, fair, understandable, but oh my god. Like, I absolutely get it, but it's like, oh my god, people. Like, I can't stand, like, this level of false nicety, you know? Like, I think you should be polite to everyone, even people you don't like, but, like, it gets to a point where it starts feeling passive-aggressive, you know? Come to think of it, you're right. Could it be a bit of a fever? Hideyoshi put his hand up against Ava's forehead. It seemed that Ava wasn't feeling her best. That goes without saying. That's what happens when you break your sleep cycle at your age. Well, excuse me. He's only slightly younger than her. Like, Rosa is much younger than them, and she's in her, like, early 30s. The rest of them are, like, 40, 50, almost 60. Is it a cold? Natsuhi? Could you call Dr. Nanjo down? Yes. I'm fine. You don't have to make a fuss over it. I have some medicine, so I'll be okay. I tend to get fevers when I'm tired. That is not how fevers work. Was a passenger on... Kinzo was like a passenger on Noah's Ark, God. He was already a young man during World War II, if I remember correctly. So yeah, by the 80s, he's quite advanced in age. Does it help that he likes to spend his days drinking absinthe? But yeah, generally you're not supposed to get fevers from stress or when you're tired. Like, that is not what fevers are. Fevers are your body trying to, like, kill off, like, germs and stuff by cooking them alive. It's not your body overheating from working too hard. Thank you. If the siblings gathered without me, I get the feeling everyone would start talking behind my back. Jesus, Ava. It's a persecution complex from long ago. Sorry, okay? Just because you tell them straight to your face that you're afraid you're gonna talk about them and like, sorry, I know that's unreasonable, that doesn't make it okay. You can't get out of being an asshole just like, sorry, it's my mental health, I'm going to therapy. Don't worry. As if I'd say bad things about you behind your back, Nason. This is getting a little awkward. What is it? Nason, you've been acting strange for a while now. Shouldn't you get a little rest now? You're right. Just thinking about raising money by March makes my headache hurt even worse. That isn't good. Rest. And I'll hold back to you so that your headache doesn't get worse. I've had a bad headache myself for a while now. Thank you. Well then, I'll take those words to heart and rest for a while. What is it, Ava? Why so angry all of a sudden? Sorry. Please let us rest a bit longer. Sorry. After apologizing several times as though praying, Hideyoshi followed Ava out of the lobby. She's about as subtle as a bulldozer. I don't like this atmosphere. It's all so strained. That's no surprise. There was a murder early this morning, in case you forgot. And since then, we've been eating canned food and carrying guns around. Oh, you poor babies. I wonder if the kids are building up stress too. I mean, why wouldn't they? I'm worried about Maria. She tends to throw tantrums at times like this. Oh, there we go! At that moment, they heard the sound of wild footsteps coming from the second floor. Oh, there she goes. The guest house wasn't a cheap building, so they wouldn't normally have heard the sound of footsteps. It was the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. And an instant later, accompanied by what seemed to be the sound of her running out into the second floor hallway. They could hear Maria calling, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," over and over again, sounding displeased. Rosa grabbed her head, her hair flying, and she voicelessly moaned in anguish. The adults conscientiously turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. The noisy clamor came down from the second floor and flew into the lobby. It was Maria who was sobbing, along with the other children, and Nanjo. Oh boy. In other words, they had all come downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness at this new annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone. For context, Maria is 10 years old. So part of Rosa's frustration is she's getting too old to be acting the way she does. Sorry, Aunt Rosa. We tried to calm her, but she just wouldn't listen. Oh, God. What is it, Maria? Could you be a little more quiet? Everyone's watching. It's that rose of hers from the rose garden. Oh god, not this again. She suddenly started saying she was worried about it. I think she's half asleep. She suddenly woke up and started going on and on about how worried she was about that rose. Maria-chan, calm down. Telling someone to calm down never works. The ooh, ooh, ooh. My bad. Welcome to the weirdness of anime, everybody. Don't worry about it. That was just a dream. Rose belongs to Beatrice and me. So if I don't take care of it, Beatrice is gonna get mad. It might get snapped off again. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you to quiet down a bit, okay? The sudden rise in the tone of Rosa's voice surprised the children. But Maria's crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer. Oh boy, here we go. Rosa-san, you mustn't scold a child so unsparingly. Times like this, it's best to give them some warm milk or something. Is there any here? The milk we just had for breakfast is empty now. Does anyone have a sedative to use on kids? A sedative? Bruh! Like, okay, I know you're not supposed to technically let a child just cry themselves out, but at 10 years old, I think that is a valid strategy. Because it doesn't matter what anyone's saying, she's not listening. And I'm sure everyone's told her, it's not safe to go outside right now because of the storm. You know those silver pill things? I'm sorry? I have some? Damn. Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed the handbag that had been set on the sofa and fished around for some medicine. It seemed she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrum. Hold on. Was this legal back in, like, the 80s? Like, that is just insane. She found it and opened the bottle, but it must have been empty. How many times have you drugged this child? Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times, but that didn't change the fact that there was nothing in there. As she did that, Maria's crying grew even more intense. Oh, God. Oh, thank God they switched scenes. I was just about to say, fair warning, Rosa has beaten Maria in public several times in this story already, so, you know, if you don't want to listen to child abuse, but I think for now we're safe. At that time, Ava was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water. Whew, this is one nasty fever. I'll bet it's the poisonous air at the family conference that got you. For now, you can forget all about the other relatives, okay? As Hideyoshi spoke kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief on Ava's burning forehead. Ava rested her hand on top of his. Your hand feels nice and cool. If my hand feels nice, your fever must be pretty bad. Don't worry, the medicine will start working soon. Plus, my hand is a magic hand. I just put it against your forehead like this, and any fever will melt right away. They're actually quite a cute couple. You're right. Your hand always makes my fevers fade away. Yep, no need for a doctor when you've got my hand. Don't worry. And close your eyes. The power of placebo effect. My magic will make the fever fade away. Yes, I know. I can feel your magic. Hideyoshi was about to say it was just a placebo effect, but he stopped. If Ava said she could feel magic coming from his hand, then that was fine for now. I wonder if magic really exists. Yeah, it does. Only those who believe can tell, though. There's actually a lot of magic like that out there in the world. If magic actually exists, then I wonder if witches actually exist too. Oh? You mean that witch of the forest, Beatrice? She probably does exist for those who believe. Just like the gods. They don't show themselves except in front of those with strong faith. I did it too, you know. Long ago, I was able to use magic. Oh? Really? Then you were a witch too. I had dreams that I wanted to come true no matter what. After wishing strongly and trying hard, they always came true without fail. With my magic, my grades were always the best, and I even became the student council president. And worked hard to get into the university I wanted. Everything I wished for was granted. That's right. Your magic was always a thing to be reckoned with. You're definitely a witch, and you work harder than anyone. I know all about it. When I was a kid, the whole time there was another me inside myself who always supported me. And that other self was a witch. I don't believe in Beatrice? Oh my god. I don't believe in Beatrice, the witch of the forest. I always believed that if a witch of Rokenjima did exist, it was the witch inside my heart. I was so grateful to that witch inside myself. I was always grateful that she brought me to you. You get too timid when you're sick. Don't say anything for now. I'll stay like this the whole time until your fever is gone. Yes. Don't take your hand away. No matter what, somehow, I feel like I'm becoming something that isn't myself. And I've been scared for a while now. I get the feeling that the witch inside me was provoked by Beatrice. And is growing stronger and stronger. Somehow, it feels like she's going to swallow me whole. It's okay. As long as I'm with you, there's nothing to be afraid of. And then he died. Remember that time when we went to that dangerous country and the whole bus got robbed? I drove him off. Did you just hand over your gold watch and beg him to go away? I mean, that still counts! It was pretty lame, but it was cool. Don't move your hand away. Not even if I fall asleep. And if something creepy sneaks in here, protect me. Yep, leave it to me. That's why I'm telling you to stop worrying and get some sleep. Because the medicine and my magic will start working real soon. Ava finally calmed down and closed her eyes. At that time, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum. And screams of ooh-ooh-oohs could be heard along with Rosa's rebuking yells. That probably hurt Ava's ears. Or maybe it was giving her a headache. You're home? Welcome back, Art! Ava moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. Ice Queen! Yum, yum, yum! It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and started arguing with Rosa, who then scolded her daughter. And then maybe they got too embarrassed. That got too embarrassing to be shown in front of the other relatives, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to butt in on Maria and Rosa's problem. But just for now, since Ava's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else. Wait just a sec. I'll ask them to keep it down. Come back quickly. Don't worry, I won't leave this room. Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze. Everything okay, Rosa-san? I'm sorry, did all this noise wake you? Oh my god. Maria-chan, sorry. Maria-chan, sorry. Aunt Ava isn't feeling well and she's trying to sleep. Could you quiet down a bit? Maria's tone didn't change after Hideyoshi's request. She kept crying and repeating, "My rose, my rose." Wow, there she goes. Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and dragged her towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. She would still probably be noisy for a while, but he had warned Rosa for the time being. Oh yeah, Rosa is freaking insane. I mean, from what they shared, she got pregnant and her boyfriend just like flipped off to another country after making her co-sign a huge loan. So she's been getting judged by everybody, because, like, you know, a single mother in any society gets heavily judged, but in Japan in the 80s, oh, it was real bad. Which is not to excuse her behavior, but I can see how it's gotten to the point where Rosa is just at her wit's end because she has no support from anybody. And her daughter is quite something. Like, hard enough being a single mother, but when you've got a child that has behavioral problems, that just adds to it. What happened to Shotgun Lady? Natsuki? She's still around. But now they all have shotguns. They found 5 shotguns, so, like, every adult has a shotgun now. Which, what could possibly go wrong? Relying on Rosa's actions as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door. And good old Japan, you know, oh, don't get involved in other people's business. I've heard stories where it's like someone had their baby in like one of those car seats on a bike, and something happened and the bike fell over. And, like, no one helped except for, you know, the Western tourist, basically. Like, everyone just frickin' turns away and looks the other eye. Like, they've got the worst case of bystander syndrome. So, like, while Rosa took Maria out of the room because she was feeling judged, it's not because anyone tried to stop her. It just got too awkward for her to be in there while she beats her child silly. Like, literally, she was beating the shit out of her on a train platform, and someone went and told the station master, and Rosa tore into the guy. Like, how dare you talk to me while I'm disciplining my child? Mind your own business. Like, Jesus Christ. Because, like, yeah, they'll silently judge the heck out of you, but no one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna step in and help. And then you remember that Ryukishi Nana, the writer, was a social worker before he started writing and, like, his visual novels got popular. So you know he has seen all of this shit. Is Maria-chan having a tantrum again? Looks like it. It's tough for Rosa-san, too. Come to think of it, our George is almost too good to be true. We should be grateful. You're right. Hand. Oh, sorry. Look, it's the magic hand! He put his hand on Ava's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Ava's face, and bit by bit, she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. They're actually a really cute couple. I like them. Gentle beans, I am here. Hi, Ranger. By the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss at what to do next. She hadn't been able to withstand everyone's gaze in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs. Dashing out of the lobby. Hello, how are we? Pretty good. Just reading the UMINEKO and enjoying the story. Well, as much as we can, I suppose. It's, we're at another point where it's like, yes, that's right. These are all parents of the year. Cough, cough. You have a perfectly good reason for being late. I'm sure you do. Any reason is understandable. Then she had gone out into the corridor, only to have Hideyoshi say she was too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though tears of frustration were about to come out. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in a properly calm voice. Maria, do you really want to see the rose that much? Maria nodded her head several times. 'Twas only that I stayed until like 4 or 5 p.m., but also traffic. Damn. Rip. Why do you want to see it so much? I'll listen as your mother, so will you tell me quietly? I'll hit you if you scream. Oh, you were doing so good! You were doing so good, Rosa! You almost had it! You almost had it! My rose. Beatrice revived it. It might have snapped off again. I'm worried about that. I can't sleep until I'm sure. Apparently she was still upset about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again. But she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming. Anyway, everyone is having a hard time right now, so don't bother Mama and everyone else. You can worry about that rose all you want tomorrow when it stops raining. So for now, listen to me. No! No, no, no! It's my Beatrice's rose! Oh, God. Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and gotten her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer. Please just be quiet. What can I do to make you stop crying? What should I do to make you listen to what your mama says? Suddenly, Maria stopped crying so fast that it seemed unnatural. Then she turned around and muttered, "Wow, sadist child. If I get to see my rose, I'll stay quiet until tomorrow." Really? Yes. If we go to the rose garden and see my rose, I'll calm down. I mean it, Mama. If it were to keep Maria quiet for the time being, Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. She thought it might be a bit reckless. Just a bit. Going out into like a typhoon? Just a bit. But in the end, no murder or anything of the sort had actually occurred. All that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinzo. If you carefully thought about that chain of closed rooms, it clearly had to be all an act. Will you really listen if we go see the rose? Yes. I mean it, Mama. I do not trust this child. My God. Ouch! Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. She shrugged as though giving up. Understood. If it's just one look, then I'll agree. Will that work? Yes, Mama. I promise. Freaking crocodile tears. No one stops crying that fast unless they were faking it. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It'll be okay. It's only an act. There was never a murderer on this island in the first place. I'll be back. I'll be back. Take care, Ranger. Damn it. Wait, Aunt Rosa. Are Aunt Rosa and Maria the sacrifices for the second Twilight? Damn it, damn it, damn it! Someone notice them! Tell them to stop! What are those guys in the living room and us kids doing? Indeed. They are being considerate of Rosa's pitiful relationship with her daughter and are forcibly changing the subject. The group that includes you went up to the second floor and is talking about something else while watching TV. How are y'all even getting a signal with the storm, man? Ah, you bastards! Someone notice them! Who's the closest? Is it Uncle Hideyoshi? Please notice that they are leaving through the front door! It won't reach! It won't reach! Don't disturb their precious time together. It's the last time together they'll ever have! Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Ava's forehead. He didn't notice at all that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door. In that case, there was no way the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice. Much less those in the cousin room on the second floor. Why are you so panicked? Didn't you defeat me with that bold move saying the culprit died in an accident on the first Twilight? Doesn't that mean there's no longer a culprit on this island? What is there to be so worried about? Shut up! I can see right through you! Someone stop them! They'll be killed! Someone stop them! no way that Adler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately, the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate. Because maybe, if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa might have hesitated to go outside. Uh-oh! I'm gonna get going. Okay, take care. Have a good night. Ooh. Here it is, and they're toast. Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria would only get one look at it. Dee Dee! Art! What's up? My ice cream disappeared. No! Did you eat it? Is it in your tummy? But she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been long enough later on. So she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, maybe? It happens, I understand. Ice cream never lasts as long as you want it to. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Yeah, go figure. Like, I can understand how frustrating it is dealing with a child throwing a tantrum, but you are the adult here, my girl. How's the progress been? Good. I mean, plot's just kind of chugging along, as it always does. But Rosa and Maria have gone outside, so they're probably gonna die. Just because, Maria was throwing a huge tantrum. And then as soon as Rosa was at her wit's end and was like, I'll do anything, tell me how to make you stop crying, Maria immediately stops crying and goes, we're gonna go see my Rose. In like her evil voice. And I'm like, great. Demon child. And also clearly was faking the tantrum. Like, originally she might have been seriously throwing a tantrum, but no one stops crying that quickly unless they were faking it. Like, unless they were forcing themselves to cry, basically. Like, as someone who was a crybaby growing up, it's really hard to make yourself stop crying when you're generally upset. You sure know how to pick stories? I'm just picking what's the popular visual novels. I don't know what you mean. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. Oh, the 2 seconds you take throwing away the umbrella, and then the 5 seconds you take getting ready to shoot, you're already dead. Especially when you're an amateur. wouldn't know what a popular VN would be at all. Understandable. Short answer, if it was made into an anime, it's popular. For the most part, anyway. I do wonder what actual VN enthusiasts are into. So... Funnily enough, the UMINEKO anime sucks. I mean... I didn't say good anime. Just that it's popular enough to get an anime. Sayano Uta! Yeah. See, the reason I paused was because how do I word it nicely that the real VN enthusiasts play really fucked up shit? Like, literally, like, Sayano Uta is... frick. Euphoria? Oh, God. Like... I'm trying to think. The most I can explain about Sayano Uta without traumatizing y'all is main character had an accident, and because of that, it screwed with his brain, and now he sees everything as meat. Like, humans look like grotesque hunks of meat, the walls look like flesh. And then, you know, as he's, like, going crazy from all of this, he happens to see what looks like a normal girl. Which means she's actually, like, a grotesque monster, because his vision's fucked up, remember? And then it all starts going to hell from there. I think technically the good ending is Saya dies, but as she dies, she releases all these spores because she's a monster, and the whole world starts turning into monsters. But that means that since MC has that really fucked up, like, sense of vision and stuff, the world looks normal to him again. Yay! Junji Ito should take notes. Yeah, again, Urobochi, like Madoka Magica, really like Sayano Uta. I think actually, did he write Sayano Uta? I think he did. And you know, those are the story beats that are the least messed up. There is a ton of sexual assault in it. Like, not, and I will say, not even just normal sexual assault. Sexual assault that makes me want to vomit. Like, yes, it was indeed written by Gen Urobochi. Yeah, it's no giant caterpillars, God. The giant caterpillars are... That giant caterpillar was tame compared to what's in Sayano Uta. Sayano Uta, literally, I never played it because at the time, there wasn't a convenient way to. But just reading the transcripts of everything made me want to hurl. So, like, yeah. And then, I can't remember the title of it. Because remember, I picked Iwaihime because it was on a list of, like, the most disturbing visual novels. But it wasn't number 1 on the list. It was actually pretty near the bottom. There is one visual novel I can't remember the name of. They did translate it into English. And it was apparently so fricked up, within 24 hours, they had to issue a mass amount of refunds. So yeah, that's what real visual novel enthusiasts play. The most effed up stuff that would get you, like, banned on Twitch. If it had, like, you know, if it had actual images to go with the text. Which which I'm pretty sure in turn made it more popular. Correct. Yeah. So it's like, that's why I'm like, when you guys are like, wow, you really pick some messed up games, Diana. I'm like, oh, you don't even know. You don't even know. I'm like, this is tame. My gosh. Because visual novels technically grew out of games that were on the PC-98, which was a console slash computer in Japan. And they made a lot of horror and a lot of hentai games for that. And so the whole text-based medium with images grew out of that. So the whole, we use visual novels to depict messed up stories has continued on. They need to bring back PC-98 graphics. The pixel art is a very, very nice, I agree. Where does Euphoria rank? I don't know. I might still have that list bookmarked. I might not. Some mediums just get away with the most unhinged shit. Yeah, I mean, this was the 80s, too. So, what was game censorship? Like, that was just getting started in America, or even, like, you know, ratings. And I mean, sometimes just the story beats of the visual novel, even without messed up content, can get weird. Like, one time I randomly picked a cheap visual novel that was on the Switch, because I had been drinking, and this was like when I still drank. I had been drinking, and I was like, you know, I just want to play something garbage. And as much as I love visual novels, a lot of them can be garbage, especially the dating sim ones. And I'm like, oh, this one has, like, you know, the kimono aesthetic. This looks nice. And it was set on an island where all the men, once they come of age, are forced to live in the red light district, either for the rest of their lives or until a woman buys them. And the main character is a rich lady, and her mom's like, it's time for you to find someone to make you a baby, and sends her to the red light district. I'm like, okay, good night, goodbye. What? Yeah! It's really weird, because that was like, it was technically a two-part, because there were two, because the stories are about, like, these rival brothels. So one has that fricked up story about the rich girl. The other one has this one where she's the daughter of a merchant. It's about what? What do you think the red light district is, Art? It's the prostitution area. It's where all the brothels are. So yeah, there was that one story. And then the other story, it's about a merchant's daughter. And, like, I forget how she ended up in that area, but it turns out her childhood friend has gotten, involved because, you know, he was a boy and he got brought in, blah, blah, blah. And, like, so there's, like, this really sweet story about her trying to find a way to get him out of that servitude without, like, you know, having to pay the thousands of dollars it takes to buy him, basically. So I'm like, damn. So here's the really wholesome one, and then here's the really messed up one. And as a testament to Dee Dee having drank 3 cans of hard cider, I was like, this is fine. And I just kept going. And then the next day, I woke up, and I had gotten deep enough into this visual novel. I'm like, you know, I might as well commit to this journey down the rabbit hole. So I finished the game. The romance was actually cute. It's just the concept that's like, what? But yes, welcome to visual novels. You can find some really interesting stuff because people are really willing to explore all kinds of subject matter in visual novels. But yeah, you're gonna run across some like really like 17th century writers would think of modern fanfic stuff. I mean, considering they didn't even want women reading back then because they thought women's brains would rot and they would become more prone to thoughts of fantasy and stuff, they would probably just be appalled at the freedom women have. What? Oh yeah! They did. It used to basically be illegal for women to read books because they were afraid women were not smart enough to distinguish between reality and fantasy. So that whole anti-movement where like people were like, oh, you know, like if you read this fictional work, that means you support this in real life. I'm like, y'all arguing like 17th century Puritans, but okay. And now I'm a cat girl. And now I'm a cat girl. God, this just reminds me. Oh, I think I've told this story before, but I have an acquaintance who sometimes tells really not appropriate jokes for the heck of it. We'll say sexist jokes. And the joke started, something like, how did the woman get crushed by the tree or something like that? And the answer, because you're supposed to tell this to a girl, right? The answer to the joke is, don't ask questions, go in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. He was telling this to someone else. And true DD fashion, I come skidding into this room and shout, "It was Christmas!" as my answer to how did the tree crush the woman. And this guy is just stunned into silence because no one has ever had an answer to this joke. He didn't even get to tell the punchline, and everyone else is just losing it because this was like at a convention. So it was like a house we rented full of people, and they're all just rolling on the floor. So that's how Dee Dee is when it comes to sexist material. I come screaming into the room and I'm like, no! Not on my watch! Oh, and there's the gold butterflies. Remember when we were reading a visual novel? Were her eyes just tired? No, we were just listening to Dee Dee yap. I just imagined all of this. Thank everything for Diana, to be honest. I do my best. But yeah, I very much been, no, that's not okay. Like, I've told the story before about Papa Melis, like, throwing, because he has those like dental picks for his teeth, because he has bad enough gums that he needs to take care of things after every meal, which is fine. But we were at a restaurant, and he threw it on the ground, and I went and picked it up, and I put it back on his tray, and I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, especially not, because, you know, this is still COVID time, and they're on lockdown. The staff are putting themselves at risk to serve us meals and attain their livelihood. Don't be gross and make their work more difficult. And Dad's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You might be confused. We were talking about visual novels. Ah! Understandable. Understandable. Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Gold? Colored? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. Uh-oh. Are you okay, Ava? Just take it easy. Should I call Dr. Nanjo after all? I'm fine. Don't take your hand away. I'm begging you, don't take your hand away. Ava was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night and that things had been rough since early this morning. And was it odd that her body wasn't keeping up? Even though she understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that the sudden fever was the sign of some serious illness. Several times, Hideyoshi decided to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Ava resisted firmly, pleading with him, saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. I understand, but you gotta have Dr. Nanjo look at you by lunchtime. If you could promise me that, I'll stay here the whole time, gripping your hand. Tightly, like this. Thank you. I'm fine. The magic of your hand will definitely take this fever away. Even as she said that, Ava's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Don't let go. Don't let go. Who is it? She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bushes. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the rose bush showed itself. Ooh? Aunt Ava. You scared me. It's you, Nesa? Do you have some business with me? Do you want to continue our earlier discussion? Oh god, she's multiplying! Yes, that's right. Our discussion about Father's gold. Please restrain yourself in front of Maria. I will keep my promise, okay? I won't get in the way of your conspiracy. Conspiracy? What's that? Whatever you're thinking, that's up to you. I have no desire to get in the way. So please, not in front of Maria. As long as I get my share, that will be enough. Your share? Ava started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then, Maria said just one thing. Auntie, who are you? Your share? Who would give that to you? All of this is mine. It all belongs to me, the Golden Witch Beatrice. And she's having some terrors. Ava, are you okay? Ava? If she is screaming in her sleep, she is not okay. That is a dumbass question. Hold on. Don't let go. Don't let me be dragged away by someone who isn't me. Hold on to my hand. Don't let go. It's too late. It's too late. When did you ever work hard? You never worked hard for anything. You were always hiding in our shadows. You always escaped from shadow to shadow without fighting. You really think yourself qualified to make demands of me over the Ushinomiya family gold? All of that is mine. It's all mine alone as head of the Ushinomiya family and the new Golden Witch, successor to the name of Beatrice. The sibling resentment? Which is crazy, like... First of all, Rosa was just a tiny little kid when all of you siblings were fighting, trying to, like, stake your claim in the family. So of course she didn't participate. Beatrice! It's Beatrice, girl! She's got no self-preservation. Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high. Hey, you're Nason, right? You think the child's your sister? I don't know about that. You are Nason, aren't you? Wrong. I am no longer the one who was your sister. Oh, okay. My bad. Then who are you? Are you trying to say that you're Beatrice? That's impossible. You died 19 years ago. You were definitely dead after all. I clearly saw how your head was split open. I can remember the insides flowing out like it was yesterday. You know there are more than one Beatrice in the world, right, Maria? Or Rosa, rather. The concept of death does not exist to a Golden Witch. The Golden Witch in the name of Beatrice will be handed down for all eternity. Maybe the Beatrice you knew met with death, but that name is mine now. And therefore, it's eternal. The concept of death does not exist for Beatrice. All I can see is that the gold has driven you mad, and also you are apparently like 30 years young. No, 40 years younger now. It's kind of weird, but whatever. How pitiful, Nason. Come on. You know I'm not your sister anymore. I have been tasked with my own resurrection ceremony. Ronald? What should I do? Ah, that is up to you. You already have the power to make what you think reality. You should grow used to it once you've tried it out a little. Huh. You worthless former sister. You should consider it an honor to have been selected as the first sacrifice I offer as a witch. Thanks. I love you too. On the second twilight, I'll tear the two who are close apart with my own hands. They're not close, though! They're not close! You're making a terrible, terrible mistake. I think the only close parental relationship on this island is Ava and her son. The first thing the new Beatrice wished for. No, the first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. Yay, gravity! She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them. Oh, God. She's just gonna drop her to the ground. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreating into the distance below them, but that she and the witch were being sucked up into the sky. Huh? For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there is nothing more unnerving than having their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, to Beatrice, who in becoming the new witch had learned the joy of being released from gravity, it was enough to make her whole body shake in delight. Weirdo. Hey, Rosa, do you remember long ago when we were small, when we used to talk about what it'd be like to become witches and fly around the sky? That dream has been granted, hasn't it? Yeah, a real wonderful fleeting dream. If I became a real witch and granted it for you. So stop! If this is a dream, then wake me up. You said it yourself. You said you flew through the sky in your dream. And you also said you didn't want to wake up. You even got mad at me when I woke you up, right? Oh boy. Don't worry. This time, you won't wake up, okay? Thanks. Come, dance with me in the vast, rainy sky. Didn't we both wish we could fly like the seagulls in the sky? Hey, title drop! And escape the cramped and boring island of Rilkenjima? Now, I'll make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share the joy with you and no one else. What a liar. God. It's so fun, Rosa! It's so fun! Take a look below you. Look at how small our mansion is. Anyone else uncontrollably dancing to the song? Not to me. But I can totally understand. I wonder how much time we spent in a place that small. Now I'm especially shocked at how cramped and tiny it is. So feel. Don't think, feel. Enjoy, rejoice. That power we yearn for, the power to move through the sky at will. Come on, let's dance. Through the rain, through the wind. Let's fly around like we're dancing. The lightning will shine on us and bless us. This is fine. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. I don't know if Rosa is happy about this, but hey. However, it was only that way for the witch. Yeah, that's what I figured. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over again. Stop it! Forgive me, let me down! Ah, you're right. It's more fitting for humans to crawl on the ground. Then why not go back there? A slight, displeased expression rose to the witch's face, but she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's request. Oh, yeah. Who did it? Who saw this coming? The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance grew weaker and stopped. In other words, Rosa once again became a human bound by the restrictions of gravity. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground, upside down. No. She began to fall. Oops. That's right, if I don't take her down the right way, this is what happens. The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting. But she still wasn't used to using magic. What a liar. after plummeting 100 meters into a rose bush. As a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her. Again, what a liar. So she wished that Rosa hadn't died. When she did, gold butterflies coiled about Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like a carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversibility, one proves they have surpassed humanity. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. Awesome. I can even revive an ended life? Of course. Beatrice-sama is the endless witch. To live and to die. To bring to life and to kill. All of it repeated endlessly. Beatrice-sama, the endless witch, is the queen who controls the cycle of life and death. One time I knocked over a fishbowl. A fragile and beautiful bowl broke, and I couldn't put it back together again. I'd never see that cute pop-eyed goldfish swim again after it landed on the floor. No matter how much I cried, the servants shook their heads, insane that broken things and dead things can never be revived. That's when I learned something. You must not break things. You must not kill people. So if you can fix them, then you won't get in trouble for breaking it. Right? I mean, I guess. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome! For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had inherited was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and cruel. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hand. Sorry about that. I didn't think flying in the sky would be so much fun. Sorry, I'm real sorry. And I didn't know humans could die so easily. I brought you back to life, so we're even. So get up, okay? Play with me some more, okay? How about no? What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me about all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. Even drowning in a sea of jelly. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around the garden, okay? I'll do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, alright? Stop it. Oh. Drops of orange juice. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The ground spread out beneath her was like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was an ocean of jelly, like she had spoken of from her dreams when she was young. The black part was coffee jelly. The red part was strawberry. The yellow was pineapple. And the green was melon. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have time to think about stuff like that? Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. I mean, it hurts. And she sunk deep to a purple grape-flavored sea. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sunk on and on, deeper and deeper, as deep as the Marianas Trench, crushed by the water pressure of the jelly ocean as her ribs snapped and her spine snapped. Wow. In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. What a joyous torture. To drown in a sea of jelly. It's a dream no one else can imitate. The meatball that had been Rosa was launched up into the sky. Oh god. After being wrapped in a golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. Alright. I was hoping the scene would be short, but it looks like poor Rosa's gonna get tortured for a bit longer. Unfortunately, I gotta wrap it up. The latest I can stream on like a weeknight is like 10 p.m. So we're gonna have to wrap it up here. Rosa gets to, quote-unquote, live another day? If you can call being tortured, living, I don't know. This poor girl. Well, poor woman, I guess. Alrighty. Ta-da! Alright, tomorrow we're playing Detective Instinct, which is a new indie mystery game that I picked up. I originally played the demo and really liked it. So if you enjoy Ace Attorney and Famicom Detective Club, right up your alley. So I will see you guys tomorrow for that. Now let's see who I can send us to for a raid. Oh, I should remember to save. Alas, this game does not have autosave. There we go. Damn, it was almost 2 months since the last time we played. That is oops. Like I said, I kept putting it on the schedule and then stuff kept happening. Alright. I will oops. Snooze the ads because we're wrapping up. I will send you guys to Esper is playing Golden Sun. That seems nice. I've never played Golden Sun, actually. Alrighty, so here is Raid. Here's Discord. And here is a merch if you're feeling fanciful for the holiday season. So for now, that is gonna be it for me. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for coming along. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. Until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat good food, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.